So, like, do you have any, like, comments or complaint to the designer who wrote those goddamn documents? We don't pay you guys.
No, we do not.
We don't pay you guys. Alright, what should I start with? Okay, hello, this is IO official, though we are only called Ivorfall right now. I'm Corey, the enemy designer, and currently sketching out the level design. And this is...
I'm Austin. I am the animator and character rigger of our team.
So today, this interview will basically go through how the animator and the rigger deal with his work in our development process. Well, so maybe I'll just start with the quite basic question that every interview will start with, like, what's the challenges incarnate during this development process?
The challenges I've faced is, it's learning to be using different meshes when animating and rigging, because each mesh is different, weighting's going to be different, so controlling them is going to make the arm look a little different compared to a different character. So just learning to, use different faces and stuff like that to, actually get the mesh looking nice. And on the animating side is just making each character feel different and unique in their own way. We have a RoboCop character. I have to make him look like a robot more than like a human. So really just trying to find the balance to make them different between each other.
Got it. So as I know, you are the only one, literally the only one who's animating every character. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, that's my producer told me. And so now, you did Thugs, you did the Raven, you did the Players and RoboCop, all these things. How about those non-organic stuff? Those you respond for those too?
The non-organic stuff too?
Nah.
Yeah, I did some stuff like our the steam buggy that kind of blows up at some point in the game, as well as a cog that spins up and down on a pole type thing that's used as a weapon. So a couple things like that, and just a couple moving gears. Those were a lot easier, I feel like.
Okay.
They're all kind of follow one set of rules. The cog's gonna spin one way, it's not gonna go somewhere else, so that's kind of easier compared to an arm that can go almost any way.
Oh my. Well, so though you did so many things in this one project for now, so which part of the work is you're most proud of?
I think most proud of right now, I think I've loved working on the RoboCop a little bit more, just because, like I was saying earlier, you want to make it more robotic than human. So just making different animation styles seem more robotic, but still good enough that you can tell he's running at you at full speed, about to hit you with a baton or something like that, but still in a fun way that I feel like players will hopefully enjoy at some point.
Okay, so because I'm the one who wrote those documents and asked you to fulfill my fantasies and our producer's fantasies. So do you have any comments or complaint to the designer who wrote those goddamn documents?
Honestly, no. They were pretty well detailed enough to get the idea across, but at the same time I have my own free will to make it however I want, but in the end hopefully everyone enjoys it, and I'm more than happy to get feedback at some point.
Got it. Well, because previously some producer actually told me that for what the difference between the student project and the actual working studio is that we don't pay you guys.
You serious?
No, we do not.
We don't pay you guys, so we literally don't have the right to ask you to exactly what we want you guys to do. We don't have those kind of rights. You don't have those kind of obligations. So, see, that's how things goes in the student project. Even it's the capstone.
It's already recording.
I know. This is something for the clipping. Okay, so. What do you think is the most important for developing a game as a team, especially from an animator's perspective?
I think just communication in general and clear guidelines of what you want, because you go through the process of hey, you're the designer. Here's what here's how the thing's gonna act. Here's how the thug's gonna act. Here's how the RoboCop's gonna act, and with enough detail, I'm the one that has to bring it to a point where it's like, okay, let's bring how he's supposed to be to life. So, and like again, communicating between them, like, hey, this doesn't make sense. Can you explain like what this means? You explain that, great, and hopefully then it produces and makes it look nice, and that's what we wanted. So I just think as long as we're kind of keeping each other on each other's toes, making sure we know what each other wants, so that way we make a great thing for everyone to enjoy soon.
Okay, let's talk about about the challenge you're facing. Like, you mentioned about those obstacles you're facing. Like, how do you actually overcome those stuff?
However, came those, I will sometimes like think like way too far ahead into the production pipeline. And like, okay, this is gonna look like crap if I don't do this or that or whatever like that. I think it's better to take it one step at a time. So especially as an animator, you want to like get all these movements in. It's easier to like take it one step at a time, get everything done at a certain point. So if he's walking, like the walk position is all set and ready. Then later I can go down the line and like, okay, let's adjust this to make it look more natural and stuff. So I think just taking it one step at a time instead of speed running it through has been the best thing for me so far.
Got it. Now, how about the players' feedback? Because we actually had a few playtests in the student in our program from some professor and other students from other team. So, how about those feedbacks? How those feedback influence your development process?
I think it's roughly the same of how my process goes. It's just more of like taking the feedback like right then and there and seeing what I can do to adjust it. Because especially like with a player character, the animations have to be fast enough that when the player hits a button, it's gonna react right away, but not too fast where it looks super glitchy and unnatural. So I think definitely just hearing what I get back from them, like, hey, this is like a little laggy. Okay, then maybe I need to have this 2 frames shorter or something like that. So I think that's the best thing from players so far.
All those small adjustments. Huh?
Little adjustments.
All right. Okay. I guess here's the quite a important question. Like, how did you feel to being an animator?
Honestly, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. Like after a while, like this is the one thing I've really loved. People make some really cool models and designs, like our aviator and our player characters. I think those are like really great looking. But you need someone to like bring them to life, to actually like have a personality and be fun with it. And I have enjoyed doing that because we have no facial animations on any character, but like just the way the body moves, like we can tell like each one has their own personality and their own way of fighting or anything like that. That I think has just been really enjoyable to like bring these characters people have made to life.
Got it. Then I guess this is the end of our interview with Austin. All right.
Make them like try to make them not reflective so they're gonna pick up any of like the light. Like electric is like a grayish blue.
Electric, grayish, I mean, the gray blue?
Let's do this.
It's not a scam. Just put Travis Kelce in like his fucking Chiefs uniform and just like.
Travis Kelce put her on the map, man. This Kelce Dibs put her on the map. This random bum going to have to flip burgers at McDonald's instead of having to.
I couldn't show the phase 3.
The way she.
I can still hear. I'm going to go.
Just know.
You're just turning into a kid.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Oh, the most busted thing ever. And that's the final panel where he's just like.
I haven't seen it. Can we